Hello, I'm Adam Barralet and welcome to this Crystal Connections video where we're exploring the angel of Hamaliel. Now Hamaliel is one of the 12 guardian angels of the different zodiac signs. Hamaliel looks after those under the sign of Virgo, or anyone who's working with the energy of the Virgo zodiac sign. So what I find really interesting about Virgos is they're often misunderstood as people. You see, people see that they're kind of, perfectionists or OCD, or they really try and control everything. But the fact is that they are actually the healers of the zodiac, and it is their task to try and get everything back in balance or to make everything perfect. Now, yes, occasionally a Virgo does get a little bit unbalanced and they end up trying to do everything the way they think it should be done without checking in with everyone else, but I think we forget their intention behind that. Also, the challenge with Virgos is they, just like Geminis, are ruled by the planet Mercury. Now, Mercury is about flexibility and changeability and that intellect and that quicksilver mind. But whereas that works really well with the Geminis and it flows with the air capacity, with Earth, it's trying to bring all those thoughts down and make them practical, which the Virgos are being that Earth sign. So Hamaliel is a great angel for Virgos to call upon to help to align everything up, or anyone else who wants to work with that Virgo energy. So let's dive in and explore Hamaliel. Within each of us is untapped potential that allows us to achieve great things in life. What we often find with life and all its obligations and responsibilities, sometimes we get swallowed up in that and we don't end up being as productive as we want to be. This is where Hamaliel can be really helpful. Hamaliel brings in that Virgo energy of helping to be disciplined and follow logic and structured and making sure that things get done. Hamaliel helps us to find the ways to bring our latent talents up to the surface and to make sure that we use it at the right time and the right place, and that we receive a good harvest for our effort. Anyone who is ready to be more productive, to bring more order into their life, can definitely work with Hamaliel, who brings people into your circle that are going to align with you, that aren't going to distract you, but are going to encourage you to bring out your best and share your best with the world so that you can play your role in healing Mother Earth and all of humanity. We want to call upon Hamaliel whenever we find that our life is a little bit out of control. Maybe there's too much on your plate, or you're allowing the world to dictate how you spend your day. I want you to think how your day started off today. Was it an email or a message that sprung you into action doing something, or maybe a screaming child or a partner that needed help with something? And this can happen as we end up being reactive to whatever's around us and we lose the entire day not achieving what we want to do. Hamaliel is really great to work with, and this little activity that I love to share with people. So, first thing you do when you get up in the morning, before you do anything else, before you even touch your phone, take a little book and write down just one or two things that you want to achieve in that day. At night, when you go to bed, tick them off. And hey, if you don't do them, that's all right. There's always tomorrow. But as the days go on, add more and more things to that list, becoming more in control of how you're going to spend the day. How the universe tends to work is if we don't decide how we're going to run our day, the world will run it for us. Hamaliel comes in to allow us to take control, to get that structure and that order and that logic. So if you really want to start being more productive, offering more to the world and getting things done, call on Hamaliel as you do this exercise in the morning, and then call on Hamaliel at night to review and support you. If you feel the day slipping away from you, too many distractions coming in, call on Hamaliel. Ask Hamaliel to put the oars of the boat back in your hand so that you can start to row down the river of life rather than kind of get swept down and end up where you didn't end up wanting to be in the first place. When we want to work with Hamaliel and bring our life back into order, we can work with different gifts here on Mother Earth that really resonate with Hamaliel's energy. A couple of crystals that I really like. The first one is rainbow fluorite. Now, rainbow fluorite, you can see by the lines that are growing in this slab, that rainbow fluorite grows in squares or cubes. Now, any crystal that grows in squares or cubes is all about order and structure. And so this is a great crystal to have nearby you when you're working with Hamaliel to just kind of start to get your life back in order. I love this when you're trying to study, because when we're trying to study, we're trying to commit things to memory and kind of put little things like file things away in little boxes in our head. make similarities, make contrasts, and understand something greater. And this can really work well. Now, another crystal that's a bit of a rare one is known as grandidiorite. Now, grandidiorite is a stone of judgment. Now, normally when we think of judgment, we think of that being critical. And I do notice when we get in that Virgo energy and, we're unbalanced, we can be very critical in a negative way. But having a good critical mind allows us to analyze and be logic and make wise decisions. And that's what grandidiorite does. It helps to combine judgment with a very open heart. In fact, it works with our higher heart chakra, that energy center that is associated with our love for all of humanity, our compassion, our acceptance, our forgiveness, our understanding, our greater understanding in that way. So have judgment, but see the positive and being able to see the good and knowing when to act, what's going to be beneficial for you, what's going to be beneficial for the people you love, and beneficial for the planet in a whole. Grandidiorite allows us to do this. So as you start to get your life back in order by working with Hamaliel, and fluorite will really start to get that kind of a bit more structure in your life. And then as you start being more successful, you can use grandidiorite, which is a bit of a rarer crystal, to really extend that relationship with Hamaliel and allow you to make precise judgments, know when to act, and know how it's going to benefit you and everyone else. When I'm aligning with a particular angel, I like to make an essential oil blend that I feel really resonates with the frequency of that angel. So in my Hamaliel blend, there are 3 different essential oils. Now the first one is basil. Basil, the Greeks and Romans used to say, helps to put a scorpion in the mind. It's a real focuser. It actually helps really on a physical level with exhaustion or even adrenal fatigue. And often I find we become exhausted or fatigued when we're trying to do too much and our life is out of control. And basil physically helps our adrenals, but metaphysically helps us with that scorpion in the mind focus on what we need to focus on. You then bring in a bit of marjoram. Now marjoram is actually sacred to Mother Earth and is really great for earth signs to work with. It feels that kind of love and connection of Gaia, but also marjoram is about commitment. And when we know what we're here to do, we need to remain committed to that. And although distractions and obligations will try and pull us off our path, marjoram, with its warming, embracing energy, says, hey, come on, back to what we're here to do. And then we bring in a bit of peppermint. Peppermint, for me, when I pop a bit of peppermint on my hand and breathe it in, it's like a slap in the face. It wakes me up. It's all about clarity. And when we're clear on what we're doing, we know where to head. So with basil's focus, with marjoram's commitment, and peppermint's clarity, it really brings in that beautiful energy of Hamaliel. When you smell this blend together, put as many drops of each in a rollerball or a diffuser or aromatically dressing your body, however you want. As long as you've got 1 drop of each, it's going to kind of bring that essence in. And what you'll find, it's got a very nurturing kind of aroma and energy to it, but also nurturing and focused. And that's why I really like working with this blend for Hamaliel. So have you worked with the angel Hamaliel before? Maybe you could choose a rainbow fluorite or a grandidiorite and dedicate that to Hamaliel whenever you need to get your life back in order. Maybe you're a Virgo and find that Hamaliel is really beneficial to help bring out your absolute best so that you can be that great healer in the world. Doesn't mean that all Virgos need to be Reiki healers or acupuncturists. We all heal through bringing light into other people's lives. I'd love to hear about your experiences with Hamaliel. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. Pop your comments down below. And if you haven't hit that little bell, make sure you do that so you get notifications of whenever I pop out a brand new video. I'm sure I'll see you very, very soon. Take care and blessed be.